Okay, so today we're going to be continuing on doing the sounds. So as you guys can tell by the intro, the sound system does lack some bass. It doesn't sound like complete trash, but it is pretty bass empty. Originally I wasn't going to throw a sub in here because I didn't want to run an external amp, but I found out that you can buy a sub that has a built-in amp and that takes up no room in your trunk. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. This right here is a Rockville 8-inch sub with the amp built in, and this bad boy just slides in where your spare tire goes. Originally I wasn't going to run a sub inside this car because I didn't want to run an external amp, but one night Yev was browsing Instagram and he found someone running a JBL in spare tire sub in an S14, and I thought that was pretty cool. The amp is built into this sub and it just slides right where your spare tire would go, so you can open up the trunk and it'll look like you're not running anything, you know? You're just running a normal sound system. What comes in the box? You have your sub itself, which is inside this housing. Boom, boom. You have a box full of different types of wires. You have your RCAs, ground power, your shield, and this thing which just goes to the unit. No, I'm not a professional audio installer or an audio guy in any means. I've never installed a head unit or an amp or a sub ever in my life. I saw Yev install the head unit. I was with him filming it, so I kind of get a rough idea of how this stuff works. But this is going to be my first sound system installation of any sort. So yeah, so these are the wires it comes with. You have your ground power with this fuse box. You have this shield right here, this wire right here, which is going to go from the sub to the head unit, which notifies your sub when the head unit is on. You have these speaker wires, which I won't need. Instead of just wiring in the speaker wires, my DIN has RCAs, which will be this wire right here. So that's the wiring box. It also comes with a few extras. You have your Rockville remote, which has gain, bass boost, LPF, and phase. I don't know what LPF, phase, or gain is, but I do know what bass boost is. And you have these two things, which are meant to bolt in the sub. All in all, this system looks pretty easy to install. It should be a pretty fun project for today. And yeah, right here I have my power wire. This is just gonna go from your positive battery terminal, go all the way to the manual connector that plugs into the sub. I'm gonna grab these wire cutters and splice this wire. There you go, it's fed through. I'm gonna grab the crimpers and I'm gonna crimp this thing in. Without further ado, let's go and throw this on the positive terminal. The battery actually has this little T connected to it, so I'm just going to use that. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's fed through now. I'm just going to run it underneath here, and then I'm going to start pulling out the back seats, and then run it through the back seats and into the sub. This is by far the longest part in this whole, I guess, you know, sub install, so it's not too bad. I'm excited. I can finally pull out the rear seats. I'll start pulling out the center console, taking out the DIN. I need to mount up the sub and make sure everything fits there, and then yeah. So the rear seats are out. I have my ground wire here. I'm gonna slice it accordingly to where I need it. And after it's sliced, I'm going to crimp this little fisheye onto it. All soldered up. Now I just have to go do the power and connect everything. Alright, I soldered in both these. So we have heat shrink on the ground. And then we have electrical tape on the power. All I have left is these RCAs, which I'll plug in right now. And I have this signal wire, which goes to the back of the DIN. So I'm gonna route the signal wire first with the butt connector, then I'll solder it up, plug into RCAs, plug into controller, and then we can see how this thing sounds. Alright, and the stereo deck is removed. here's the bunch of wires that you have wired up. With the help of Yev, I found out where the remote wire is. So this just wires up to this. I'm just gonna solder it instead of doing butt connectors. And then that wire will just go straight back to the sub. I'll solder it back there. These two RCAs, I'm not sure where they go. We're thinking it just goes into sub 1 and V plus, or just sub 1 and sub 2. But I don't know, I'll just keep plugging these everywhere until I hear a difference. Everything is officially in. Not everything is fully in. Like this controller is just gonna go straight through the door. I wanna make sure the sub works before I start putting the interior back together, or in general just moving along with anything else. So there's nothing really left to do besides just trying out the sub. So let's go try it out. I think there's directions on how to use the controller before you turn on the car, so I'm gonna read those. Then we'll connect the terminal and turn on the car. All right, fingers crossed it works. I wonder if this thing has a power on light, like it shines up. Let me put the dent up right. Nothing is in. The whole car, the whole interior is stripped. Oh, that's that third brake light. And let's see if this works. I don't know how it works, so I'm gonna try it out right now. I don't hear a difference. All right, so I turned it on, and this sub is not turning on. Yev's helping me out right here. Homie's out of town, you know, living his best life. And he's just, you know, telling me what to check with the multimeter. So I wired everything correctly, correct? Yeah.
I think so. Well, so far, you checked ground to the power, and you're getting 12.5 volts, you said. And then you checked ground to the signal wire, and you're getting 12 volts too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good.
So
what's
now
next?
We gotta keep troubleshooting. We gotta see what's going on.
Alright, well, alright, let me catch you guys up. So I was wondering why they never had an LED on this thing, so I can see if it has power. Well, they do. I didn't clip that plug all the way in, so that's probably what my issue was. But I'm gonna go see if it works now. And the controller lights up, which I was wondering why it didn't light up too, because that would make it very helpful to see if you have power. I mean, let's see if it works. Alright, I've been listening to the sound system for probably like the last 20 minutes. Playing a bunch of different songs, playing around with the bass. The subwoofer is definitely worth it. I paid under 200 bucks for it. It came with everything I needed to wire it up. It took about a whole day to wire it up just because I was debating on where I'm gonna run my positive wire. But everything else was really like, just like a breeze. It was pretty easy. So yeah, if your sound system is lacking that little oomph, I'll leave a link below to this. I'm not sponsored by Rockville or whatever this brand is by any means. It's just an Amazon affiliate link. If you guys buy it through that link, it helps the channel out. And yeah, if your sound system is lacking that little oomph, like my sound system before was pretty decent. If you played like high bass artists like Drake or Saba, those type of artists, they're pretty high on bass, so like their songs sounded, you know, pretty good. But for indie songs, there's like no bass at all. But this thing added like more than I need. I use that like half of its bass. That's where I found the sweet spot for me is. So yeah, I'll pick up the camera tomorrow to throw the rest of the interior in. Right now I'm just gonna throw everything inside the car, wrap up, and then head inside. This is how I ran my controller wire, by the way. I didn't want to run through the back. as you guys can tell from that little B-roll sequence, the interior is fully put in. Yeah, I've been probably sitting in the car for another 30 minutes listening to music, and the sub sounds amazing. Honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better unit to throw in. I'm really happy I went with this one, because once the whole carpet's in, it's not going to even look like I run a sub, which I'm really happy about. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to conclude this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.